Okay, so this is part 3 of the Killzone story. I brought up a picture of the Killzone Liberation um cover. Um, I do have the game on my PSP, but I haven't really played it a whole lot. I mean, I've played it, but it's just been a while. So I'm gonna try to get through the first two parts of this video. Was pretty much just a set off of Killzone, like what happened with them. Um, in Killzone Liberation, 2 months after the events of the first Killzone, the I put a better background for this, but um, the Helghast have been dealt with a hefty blow from the last game. But the war is far from over. The enemy still controls a large part of a Vedka. Um, though the ISA armies are fighting hard, they're losing ground. They're Helghast is starting to take over again. Um, the rules of war have been cast aside, and General Helghast General Armen Matrak. I think that's the guy that you kill at the end of number 2. Um, he's employed by Vazari, Scholar Vazari, to use brutal measures in order to seize the initiative after their past defeat, and it strengthened his position further. Matrak, he's if this is the right guy, his knees were blown out in the first one. Um, no, I don't think it's the same guy. I'll figure it out later. I'll have to look it up. Anyway, Matrak, he's if you play Killzone Liberation, he's the guy that's in the tank in the beginning of the video. He's leading the Helghast at the moment. He's Symmetric and his right hand man, Colonel Kabar, are they're planning to capture the 3 keys of the 3 key figures of ISA, and their plan ends up successful. They get them. Templar, he's sent off to convert operation to save hostages captured by Metric, while ISA troops continue to fight for liberty. Rico, his um, which is Templar's friend on the battlefield, he often assists him on his way through the enemy lines. Luger, another part of the group, also helps him throughout it. As Metric captures ISA ministers of war, Hef Mitchler, scientist Ev, I think I don't know his first name. It's his last name was like Baton or something. Um, ISA General Dwight Strayson. It's either Strayson or Stratson. I'm not really sure on that. Templar, he's sent off on a rescue mission after a set of military operations. Templar is closely following the trail of hostages and pursues a colonel, or not colonel. He pursues Kabar, who has taken Mitchler and Strayson. Mitchell is killed by Kabar, so Mitchell is out of the picture now. But Templar is nevertheless successful in defeating him. He winds up killing him. Even though Kabar is plotting to a personal a walking tank, Kavar reveals, sorry, that there is a traitor in the ISA command who is helping the Helghast once again, but is finished off by Streisand before he can say who the traitor is. So you kind of don't really know who the traitor is for a while. So Templar's next step to assault Metric, Matrock, whatever I call him. I should have probably called him Matrock. Matrock's mountain fortress is a hang on. Okay, so Templar's next step is to assault Metric's mountain fortress and rescue Badon. Yeah, Badon. Luger, Templar's longtime partner, aids him on the mission. There he fights many Helgon elite warriors, including a giant cybernetic unit. So this is where they start having like the giant mechs, which you fight a lot of them in number 2. And like the I can't remember what the things are called. I use them all the time on Killzone 3. It's little droids that fly around and kill you and stuff. Before encountering and killing Metric, that pretty much happens before he kills. All this stuff happens for kills Metric. Afterwards, Templar locates Baton and escapes with her just before the fortress is destroyed. So the game's outro marks the beginning of Killzone 2, so that's why people don't really know what's going on. We hear Vazari speaking of nuclear weapons, which he intends to use on the ISA forces. I'll have to get to that in a minute, what happens after that. In the 5th downloadable chapter, which is like a continues, which I don't have that. I can probably get that if I look for it online or PlayStation Net store. Templar is set on a mission to the Vatican capital city. Even though Matrock is no more, the enemy forces are still coordinated and fighting well. ISA believe that an unknown traitor is supplying Helgon with information. The only suspect is Rico, battling his way through the war-ravaged city. Templar finally finds Rico, and he reveals the traitor is in fact General Strayson, the guy that they saved earlier. So yeah, they kind of planned that out. They got screwed big time. He's not he didn't only sell the plant to Helghast, but he also became a shadow commander of remaining Helgon forces. Jane Templar, proceeds to the Capitol building of Edka, where Strayson is located, and battling hordes. The Helghast is battling hordes of Helghast, and even Strayson's personal elite guard is on his way. There, Templar engages the general in combat. However, Strayson is well prepared and uses his armored mech against Templar, but he defeats it, and he's wounded, and he's arrested by ISA forces. I need to pop the neck. And then I guess I'll have to do a part 4 for Killzone 2. Um, checking on my video real quick. And yeah, I'll be back in a minute with part 2 and part 3.